Hey, so my name is Kristaps Ceplis, and I'm the one who is participating from Latvian wood construction cluster. And so this presentation is a little bit about the wood utilization in construction, a Latvian experience. Of course, I can't talk about everything everywhere, but the Latvian experience is what we're gonna tell you right now. Moving. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, so why wood? The Latvia, I hope you know. If you don't know, then you know that Latvia has a lot of territory covered by forest. It's about 50 more than 50% of our territory is forest, and that's why this forest and timber is the most important resource what we do have, and that's why we need to utilize it in different ways. And the one very important way is to build timber houses. The most common tree species in Latvian forests are pine and spruce, which are very excellent for building purposes. There are some different species all around which are not so great to build houses, but those two are very great for the building. And so the other very important issue is that half of Latvian forests are owned by the state, and that means that there is very good this resource flow. So there is no it's very hard when you have a lot of small owners of the forests. Then you need to deal with each of them to get this resource flow to your factory or whatever you need. So if you have one big owner who owns half of all forests, so then it means that you can get very easily these resources to your factories, to your places where you are building houses. So we believe that Latvian forestry is very sustainable. So as you can see from the beginning, so we have 50 and more % of territory covered by forest. And if you look back to the history of 100 years, so 100 years ago we had 2 times less forest. So right now we have a lot of forests, and we are working on the idea that the Latvian forests will never be less than it is right now, but it's probably not going to be more than it is right now, because we have the people who are living on the land, we have the farmers who are growing some crops and other food things, but the big part of our land will be forest, and the forest, as you understand, is very important for as a resource. And then we have very long history of building wooden houses in Latvia. Of course, there was a time when the Soviets occupied us, and for 50 years the timber houses were not as popular as it is right now. We are still recovering, but it's not only Latvian problem. It's used to be everywhere all around the Europe that we used to use different materials like timber, like concrete, steel. But right now, as timber is very sustainable, so the people are coming back, and so we are doing this. And for instance, there are some historical issues, like historical samples, how you can see how good we were on the timber usage. So Riga Cathedral, it's the old cathedral, and the tower of this cathedral is made out of the 400 years old timber. It's there was some renovation works a couple years ago, and the majority of this wood is in good condition. Of course, there were some replacements there because there were some damages, but that was not because of the timber. It was because of the roof issues and some other issues where the rain leakage was on the timber, and of course, if you have some bad conditions to your timber structures, and then you can then there is a damage. But by other things, so everything was good. And as the constructor said, that there is no problem if the roof is in place, there is no problem for another 400 years to lease for this tower. So that means that, as you can see, the timber is very good. So until the Second World War, actually, in Riga, in Latvian capital, there was the tallest wooden building in Europe. It was St. Peter's Church. It's very sorry, but during the Second World War, it was destroyed, and right now this new cathedral is not the one who was made from the timber, but it used to be that we had the tallest one. If you are looking in the Latvian countryside, you can see still a lot of old log houses. Some of them are in good shape. The people are living in them. and so some of them are not in good shape, and people are not living in them. But it's still okay, because what we can see from this picture is that the timber houses, of course, they are getting spoiled, they are getting destroyed, damaged by time, by the people are leaving these places. But the damage to the nature from this type of house, when it's getting spoiled, it's much less than damage from the other type of the buildings. So the timber is just spoiling, and of course there is some roof material which is not timber, but when the building is spoiled, so it's just become to the land, and that's okay for this timber type house. And some basic facts about Latvian uh, timber construction, this area. So almost 100 enterprises are working in this field in Latvia. It's a little bit less, actually. It's about 90 enterprises, and most of them are working on the prefabricated wooden houses. It means that we are producing modular houses, some wooden panels which are put together on the side, but mostly they are working on the prefabricated constructions. That means that those constructions are more reliable, so there is less some problems you can see, because of there is a roof, and you are working without any rains and other cold issues. So we are export oriented industry. That means that most of our wooden houses that are produced in Latvia are exported to other countries. Mostly it's Europe. It used to be mostly northern part of the Europe, Norway and Sweden, Finland, but it's not only those countries. So we are exporting these houses to Great Britain, to Switzerland, to France, to Germany, to Austria, so everywhere, and not only in Europe. And as I said before, there is a very long experience in wood building, so that's why we know what we are doing. And what is very important, that there is very good cooperation with technical schools and technological capacity. So we are working together with our high schools, with our universities, with those I don't know in English exactly, those high schools where the new engineers are made. So we as a wood construction cluster members, we are sending our people to those schools to tell to be like teachers, to show our uh, experiences, to share what we are doing. So and then we are inviting those students to our construction sites, to our factories, to learn exactly on the field what we are doing and why we are doing in that way or other way. So, and today there are no limits actually. So the timber, the wood, it gives us like opportunity to build whatever we want, and it's just up to the one who is ordering this house. For instance, so we are building a multi-story, multi-apartment wooden modular houses. This is small one, as I know. The tallest one, modular wooden house, what was made in Latvia, is installed in Liverpool in Great Britain. It's 9-story students dormitory, and so we can build everything. If there is someone needs it, so we can build it. Then, of course, the still big part of our business is simple and modern family houses. Those houses looks like the old ones with some new stylish look, but it's still like the old ones. But inside, when you're entering this house, it's absolutely 21st century, and this is nice. The people love this, and it's very sustainable. It looks great in our nature, and not only in our nature, in natures of the other countries as well. Then, of course, we are able to build ultra modern houses, exclusive houses. It's just as I said, it's up to one who is ordering, and this is actually the big part of our success story, because our country, we are small, and the companies are small, and we are not producing like same tens of the same houses. So we are very client orientated. So if there is a client who wants some special way, so we are doing this special way. We are not just reproducing the same type of the house, and this is our way of how we are working. So why you are not stuck? Picture stuck? Why? So yeah, as you can see, it's very nice house, and that's why maybe it's not moving. Oh, okay. So then we are building some like this is hotel house, and this is in, I guess, in Switzerland somewhere. And again, so we are very open to build a house for different purposes, for different businesses. So there is a not only hotels, we have built schools, building kindergartens, and everything, something like that. And this one is the public building. This is in Latvia. I would say it's the most beautiful new wooden building in Latvia. But we have, it's already, I guess, 3 or 4 years old. It's in Ogre, in city of Ogre. It's library, public library, and this is very beautiful house. It's light. It's just everywhere the wood is exposed, and the people like it, and the people are just coming especially to this place because it's beautiful. And this one, a particular house, shows that, how to say, the structure of our wood building industry of Latvia, because the engineers and the architects of this house are young guys. The one of them actually at the moment of the building this house, he was just he just finished the studies in architecture faculty, and it was his master's like work. He just built this house. There was some problems during the building process, but they solved it. They did it very well, and the result is just great. So if nobody been in Latvia, so and you want to see some really good places, really good wooden houses, so this is the way to go. And then again, so as I said, we can build for very different purposes those houses. And for instance, this one is in Arctic, very harsh conditions. This is Arctic Station. It's partly made in Latvia. This, as you can see, this square, wooden square, it's made from CLT, cross-laminated timber, in Jelgava, in the company called CLT Profi. And yeah, it worked great. And it's, as I heard, it's the first sustainable Arctic station in the world, actually. Made by Latvians partly, and made from Latvian timber, and works quite well. And then the very big part of our modular house product is such a nice small tiny houses for campings, for whatever other purposes. This one is in Iceland, and actually just a couple weeks ago there was a big volcano eruption in Iceland, and just 50 meters away from this nice village there was hot lava. But as I know that none of those houses were destroyed, so that's good again. And yes, it looks nice in this Icelandic view. And the last, so we are able build not only houses, not only the family houses and the libraries and the hotels, but we are building from timber very important infrastructural objects like bridges. This one is made by company Zaza Timber, which is not Latvian wood construction cluster member, but anyway, this is very good company. They are building very interesting projects, and the bridges is one of the common projects what they are doing. I know that during the last couple of years they built some 6 or something like that bridges, and not only pedestrians but bridges for the heavy machinery for the real highways. So this is what we can do, and very important is that the most engineers what works on these projects, they are young people, because they want to change something. They are open for the new knowledge, and they are doing quite well. So thank you.